The pick is in.
The Orlando Magic have made their selection in the 2024 NBA Draft. Thanks for being here. I am Kylan Mills, and we're joined by Philip Rossman-Reich of Locked On Magic to break down the selection for Orlando. And this is brought to you by the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonnba. And the Magic have selected Tristan Da Silva out of Colorado, 6'8", 217, small forward/wing position player. Outside shooting, no doubt the biggest need for this Magic team. You kind of got that. Are you happy at this point, Philip?
Yeah, I'm really happy. You know, when I looked at this draft and just knowing what the Magic like, they like these kind of long, versatile players that can do a little bit of everything. And Tristan Da Silva really popped out to me as someone who fits the size that the Magic typically look for, but also kind of the skill versatility. You know, he's just someone that is always seemingly in the right spot and always seemingly making the right plays. He doesn't do more than he's capable of. He rarely does less than what he's capable of. And for a team that is winning now, that is winning for the first time in a long time, I feel like he's someone that can step in and play pretty quickly and make a positive contribution to the team.
Da Silva is certainly known as a two-way player, shot 40% from three, so that doesn't hurt. Strong feel for the game, a lot of positives. In addition to that, are there any concerns that you have in terms of anything in his game translating to the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest concern is just how much better is he going to get? That's always kind of the question when you draft, young, kind of older players. You know, he's a junior, senior. He's been in college for a while, and you always have to ask, like, well, why did he stay for so long? I think there's a little bit of concern with his athleticism. He's not the most athletic player, but again, he's just so smart with how he plays and how he sees the game. It's hard to see how he won't fit in with the team. You know, maybe he's just a bench player, but when you're drafting 18, you're fine with just getting a guy who tops out as a role player. That's kind of what you're looking for and what you need.
You also get a more mature player at 23 years old in Da Silva, who's maybe a little bit more polished and can make an impact quicker. You're talking about a Magic team that's already become a playoff team with the young core that they have. How quickly do you see him being able to make an impact and have a role on this team?
Yeah, I think he's going to make an impact very quickly. I think he's going to be someone that they're going to rely on for minutes and in the rotation. You know, the Magic are probably going to be losing Joe Ingles this offseason. That's 15 minutes a game right there that I think Tristan Da Silva is very capable of filling. Jonathan Isaac's always an injury question mark. So now you have a really solid young player that can kind of fill in those minutes. Maybe he's not the defensive impact that Jonathan Isaac is, but you're going to get something positive from him. And again, he's just, to me, he just checks off all the boxes that the Magic typically look for and what they're looking for in players. He's a really smart basketball player. And obviously he's going to have to learn the NBA a little bit, but he just does everything so well. It's hard to pinpoint one thing he does poorly. He just does everything pretty well.
Sure. Now, what's the next move for the Magic this offseason? What needs to happen now? Klay Thompson? I'm from Locked On Warriors. You want him? You want to take it?
It's definitely possible. I don't think it's impossible. They obviously have a lot of cap room to spend this summer. They have to find a starter. They have to find a starting guard and get more production and scoring production from their guards. I would agree with you. They got to find ways to increase their shot volume. They were 29th in the league in three-point field goal attempts. It's okay if you're not a great three-point shooting team, but you got to get your threes up. And being a bad three-point shooting team, they're 24th in the league, I think, in three-point field goal percentage, and a low volume team, that makes you really easy to defend, really easy to pack the paint, especially when you get in the playoffs. So I expect them to make a big move in free agency. I expect them to add another veteran free agent to come off the bench as well. So there's still a lot more work for this Magic team to do as they start to look ahead to how they improve from getting to the first round last year.
Yeah, even if you're not a Golden State Warriors chucking up a ton of threes, you still need to have someone to space the floor to open up some of that space inside to allow the guys to work in the lane. Philip, thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I know you got to run. You're trying to talk to Da Silva or hear from him as he gets ready for his introductory press conference. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me on.
Tristan Da Silva is taking his talents to the NBA after a great 4-year career in Boulder. I'm Kevin Borba, host of Locked On Bucks, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about Tristan Da Silva. Da Silva is a forward who is 23 years old and was named to 2 All-Pac-12 conference teams during his career, one of which was this past season. He averaged 16 points, grabbed 5 boards, and his skill set is something that will immediately translate to the NBA because he's a lot like Kyle Anderson. He plays defense, he hits threes, and every NBA team needs that pronto. They need it by yesterday, and he could do just that. For more on Tristan Da Silva and all things Colorado, follow and subscribe to Locked On Buffs on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast.
Also, for more on the Orlando Magic, you can subscribe to Locked On Magic. You can find them on YouTube or wherever you get podcasts. And for continuing coverage of the 2024 NBA Draft, subscribe to Locked On NBA on YouTube or wherever you get podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.